Good morning. After much to do, I was finally able to get GBA Runner 3 working on the DSPico. There was a number of comments, and I keep finding more comments about getting GBA Runner 3 working on the DSPico. GBA Runner 2 was easy. It was basically just drop it in there and it started working. GBA Runner 3, for whatever reason, I could not get to work. I did find some tutorials. They did not work. The information on them, just for whatever reason, was either outdated or just wrong. I'm not sure. So after trial and error for a few hours, actually, I was able to get it working. So I'll put this link. This is where I found the GBA Runner code and all the files needed. Okay, so I did. There's no instructions in this thread, which is fine, but I'll put this in the description. And I was able to. Here we go. Once you extract it, it just gives you this stuff, right? It's not that big of a deal. Let me throw in my SD card and show you the structure I put, and I will also put this information in writing in the description. So it should be repeatable. Okay. All right. Let's come over here. All right. I'm going to put this here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Let's do this. All right. So the GBA Runner 3, okay, this needs to be on the root. If you have this seeded in the ROMs folder or seeded in the GBA folder or the emulators folder, it just doesn't work. This part is actually the thing that took me the longest to figure out. I kept moving it around and getting different results. It needs to be on the root. Okay, the emulators folder that you're going to have here, that's just going to have your bios.bin file, which you can find and go look for it if you don't already have it. Make sure it's named bios.bin. Sometimes they're called other items. Rename it to bios.bin. Okay, and then the front end that's in that downloads folder that you get from that website I gave you, GBAR3 front end, put that in the emulators folder. Okay, and again, this is going to be in the description. And then you have your ROMs folder, and you got your GBA seeded in here. Just throw them in there, right? Okay. And then your GBA underscore GBA. Okay, that's on the root. This I put here as well, and then the configs. These are in that folder as well. This is for the GBA runner and the front end. Okay, so go ahead and plop that configs file in there. So again, here's the download that you're going to get. You get these three things. All right. So give that a try, and I will show you it working. And I'll show you that the Pokemon game people seem to have the most concern about is Emerald. They see Emerald saying, hey, it needs a BIOS file. Hey, it's not working. Hey, there's slowdown. It does work. So I'll be right back with the working GBA Runner 3 on my DSPico. All right, here we go. So we put our SD card back in our DSPico. Simple enough. Okay. All right, DSPico starting. All right, so I was already in here, so it just loaded up to the GBAR3 front end. GBA Runner 3, there we go. I'm going to pick Pokemon Emerald since I've heard that one come up a few times. It does load up. We'll give it a second. There is a little bit. There you go. Now we know our Game Boy BIOS is working.
go. In all its beauty. All right, so let's go ahead and try one more game. And then I want to make sure that our 3DS game, or sorry, and Nintendo DS game still work. Was the other one. So we'll do this again. Pick Advance Wars, because that's the one I like to play. We know where BIOS is working again. There it is. All right, so we got that going. And let's make sure our Nintendo DS games still work, because we've been mucking around in there. Back. I gotta just go up here. DS, and I'll pick Mario Kart. All right, so after many iterations, I finally figured it out, and Nintendo DS games still work. So I know I didn't mess with anything too much. All right, well there we go. We got proof. GBA Runner 3 does work, and we're good to go. Thanks for watching.